Yes, we're back. Hello, everybody. It has been a long time since we've done one of these streams, and before I bring my guest out, I did want to apologize for that. Just been super busy. This was meant to happen last week, but as some of you were aware, I was very unwell last week, and I couldn't make it. And it's rare that happens, so I hate doing it, but unfortunately, it does happen every now and then. But anyway, we're back today, and I will quickly say as well that we got a few guests lined up for next month and the following month. So the streams till the end of the year should be going quite strong now. But anyway, today, once again, we're back. And I've got a really cool guest. This guy here, I've been really wanting to get on for a while because he's been very kind to me. He's made a couple incredible documentaries. The John Carpenter one, and he done a King Kong one, The Legend of King Kong. Both on YouTube, you can go watch them. And he's very kindly asked me to be part of both of them, which is unbelievable that people want my knowledge on stuff. I still find that weird. But he's just so talented, incredible filmmaker here. So I'm really happy, really excited to have him on. And there's Mr. Tom Grover, and here he is. Hello.
Hello, James. Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello, mate. It's a pleasure to have you on.
I'm glad to finally be on here because I've watched these streams before and other people's streams like this, and I've always had a good time watching them and listening to people's opinions about films and TV and things like that. So finally glad to be on.
Oh no, honestly, man, it's amazing. And like I say, I sort of feel like I owe it to you because you've been very kind. Let me be a part of 2 of your documentaries now, which have been fantastic. And you know, like you invite me to the premiere and stuff, and it's just great to have you on, just have a proper chat and stuff. So.
No, well, thanks for your kind words just then, really. It means a lot, that does. But you mentioned the John Carpenter thing I did. I forgot I did that. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Like, it feels long ago, but it wasn't. It was like right just before I did King Kong, and it was in the pandemic. So everything in that time sort of feels like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now this King Kong was such a bigger project than the John Carpenter thing. It feels like it was so long ago. But,
it was so weird. I felt like with the John Carpenter one, at least King Kong, I feel like I've got a bit of background on King Kong with being a big Godzilla fan as well. John Carpenter, I'd seen like 2 movies. I was so nervous to come on and talk about him. I think I literally must have just mentioned The Thing and Big Trouble like 50 times in my clip for that.
I mean, 2 great films by Carpenter, but yeah.
Absolutely. I still need to watch a few more of his movies. But you know, anyway, it was just such a pleasure to be asked to be a part of them. So very excited to have you on today.
I'm glad to be on. So
I know. Absolutely. Well, we got a few people here. We've only got a couple. We just got a couple hellos there in a minute. So hopefully we'll get some questions coming in a second. But, you know, as I say, it's been a while since we've done one of these streams here. So I don't know if people are going to show up.
That's the problem with these things.
Yeah, but I've got to ask you though, like, while we wait for some questions to come in. So you've done the John Carpenter one, you've done the King Kong one. Do you have any idea like what the next one's going to be, or if there's going to be another one?
There might be another one.
Yeah.
But well, at the moment I'm sort of finishing up the last part of King Kong, and I have messaged a few people who are in horror films and things like that to do a short mini series about 20-minute interviews. It's called gonna call it like Faces of Horror or something like that. So then I know online Harry Manfredini, I think his name is, the composer for the Friday the 13th films. I'm good friends with him online. And the director of the original Chucky film, Child's Play, I know him as well.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
So I was going to see if I can get 20-minute, 30 minutes interviews with people like that and sort of put them together, sort of thing, or separate 30-minute episodes.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. How do you get in touch with these guys? Are they just sort of, do you go to them or just?
Yeah, I'll go to them. Just sort of shoot them enough messages till they reply and think, if I don't reply, he's just going to keep on at me. So I'll just agree.
I love that. That's really cool, though, to be fair, that you know, because don't get me wrong, this is no dig at anyone who I've had on my streams before, because I've had so many fantastic YouTubers, so many great friends. But to have those connections is so cool as well. To have people who are actually in the movie industry and stuff, I think is really awesome.
I just feel like I'm Andy Dufresne from the Shawshank Redemption
Yeah.
keeps sending the letters to
Yeah.
get the books and that, just get the people in the thing.
I love that. Yeah, just keep nagging them.
Yeah.
To be fair though, it's so cool. Like when I see the trailers for the Legend of Kong pop up, and you know, I can't lie, I haven't seen all of the guys that are in the trailer before, but seeing them, I'm like, oh wow, like there's there's actual famous people who've actually worked in the movie industry in this, and it's like somewhere I'm gonna pop up. But
yeah, I'm surprised at some of the people who sort of said yes and I actually talked to, but then on the other hand, I'm really disappointed with some of the people who didn't answer or said who eventually sort of said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And they sort of like, I was this far from getting some sort of person who's like a big name.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. So I sort of sacrificed them and got like an extra who was in Kong Skull Island. I thought,
yeah,
that's good enough, but it's not this one.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can relate to that because me and my friend Ryan, who do the podcast, for our 100th episode, we were, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because it was a while ago now. We were going to have Sean Chandler, if some people know who he is. He's a YouTuber. He's got a couple 100,000 subscribers. He was going to come on our 100th episode, and like 2 weeks before he got COVID. So couldn't make it. And that was so disappointing because we had in our heads it was happening. Like we messaged him on Instagram and everything. It was all pretty much going ahead, and then last minute.
That's happened to me so many times. They've sort of said yes, and then just never replied after that. And it's sort of like, are you gonna do it? Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Like,
it's frustrating as well, I can imagine, especially like you obviously like putting together these documentaries, loads of people and stuff. So but
it takes quite a lot of time.
Yeah, I guess that's the art of making the documentaries you do. You win some, you lose some with these people, I guess.
Suffer for your art.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple questions here, so let's dive in, and we'll make our way through slowly. So Rogue Review says, starting uni tomorrow, studying film, gonna pop into the newly refitted HMV Cardiff. Oh, okay, I did hear that they put a big one up in Cardiff.
It's a good thing that they're putting HMVs in more places now, because like some of the ones near me have just shut down like a year or so ago. I've only got one near me now, so it's like,
oh really?
Open more.
Yeah, see, the only one near to me is in a little town called Harlow, and it's not the biggest HMV, so I'm really surprised that one's still open, to be honest. But I hear they're doing the one in Oxford Street up, I believe, aren't they? I think, but I'm not 100% too sure on that one. But that'll be good because you know Oxford Street, that'll bring in a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
Hi guys, will either of you be checking out Blonde when it comes out on Netflix next Wednesday? Meant to be very Marmitey. I'll definitely watch it. I don't know how excited I am for it, but
no, I mean this Wednesday's Andor, isn't it? But it's every Wednesday.
Andor, yeah.
I mean, I think every Wednesday I'm going to be busy with Andor anyway, so
I'll be the same. I can't lie. I will come straight home from work and be like, well, it's like so Mondays I got House of Dragon. Wednesday's going to be Andor. Thursday, I can't lie, I'm not enjoying this one much, but I still watch it. She-Hulk, and then Friday.
Started that one yet.
Yeah, it's not great. And then Friday we got Rings of Power. So literally Tuesday's the only day at the minute I'm not going to come home and have a show to watch.
Might chuck it on then.
Yeah, but I'm really excited for Andor, to be fair. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But Blonde, it's Anna de Armas, isn't it, playing?
Yeah, get round to it at some point. Don't know.
Yeah. Well,
it's a Netflix thing, so you never know.
Yeah, no. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
My good friend Mr. Tin and Sonic is here. Evening. What's your thoughts on the upcoming King Kong Disney Plus?
Oh,
I mean, hey, we've got the King Kong man himself here. Let's ask him first.
I was going to say, I suppose that one's more aimed at me than you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we don't know that much about it yet, but it's sort of, it feels really weird because of what Legendary and Warner Brothers is doing with the MonsterVerse at the moment. It seems weird to do a completely different thing at the same time as they're doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Disney's really hit and miss of bringing these things back. But I mean, they did the remake of Mighty Joe Young years ago,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and that was actually pretty good. But that failed at the box office, and no one
Mm,
really went to see it. But I
yeah.
mean, Disney doing King Kong, it's like the same thing as Disney doing Star Wars. It,
Mm,
it's sort of in the middle. It's like it could be really Disneyfied, or it
yeah.
can't be. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a hard question, really, because if you
Yeah.
don't know that much about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think for me, I really like the MonsterVerse for the most part. So I
Mm,
was just kind of hope that things stay there because I want to keep seeing King Kong and Godzilla share screen together.
yeah,
But obviously the Disney one won't be that. He'll just be on his own. So I don't really know. I'm more interested in what's going on in the MonsterVerse because it's already established, I think.
yeah.
But anyway, either way, it's good to get more content because
Well, yeah,
in
yeah.
the grand scheme of things, especially compared to Godzilla, there's not that much.
No, yeah. With King Kong, it like every iteration of King Kong has more or less been the same story over and
Mm,
over again, but in just in different sort of eras, like
yeah.
30s, 70s, 2000s,
Hmm.
2010s. Sort of each era sort of had a different
Hmm.
version of King Kong, which is fine, but it's sort of like do something different. I mean, Skull
Yeah,
Island did something different, but apart
absolutely.
from that, it does it everything sort of does the same sort of. He's got a blonde girl, goes to a tall building. If
Yeah,
every other thing except
yeah,
Skull Island, really. So
yeah. It will be interesting to see if you can get to a point like Godzilla where we get past those first couple movies and then we can see some other big monsters come into play and whatnot.
yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Um, so Rhodey is here. Hello, mate. Um, and they've extended the Cardiff store into the basement, so now it has 3 floors as well as got the new what's that? New branding into the store, and it's bigger than when you went to it, James. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, of course I've been to the Cardiff one. I was like, I was so confused there for a minute. Yeah, no, it was quite a big HMV actually. They had an upstairs, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, maybe one day I'll make it back there.
yeah,
But yeah, that really caught me off guard there. I was like, I've been there.
yeah. I mean, with HMV stores, it's really sort of like you have to when you want to go and get something, you have to sort of dig
Mm,
for it
yeah.
because some things you dig for it and you look and you're like, oh, that's way too much for that.
Hmm.
But then
Yeah.
you look at something else and it's like, oh well, that's actually quite a decent enough deal. I know support sort of high street
Hmm.
shops and things, but I think with places like HMV, they need to sort of steady their prices in some areas
Yeah.
because then you sort of look at the price of a vinyl in HMV and you sort of look at it like, no, you're right, and then you go to
Hmm.
Amazon when you get home and just get it on there.
Yeah. No,
But that's the
exactly
only,
that.
yeah,
I have that problem as well with HMV. And normally, a lot of the time, I walk in there and there'll be a film that's like a 4K one that's normally like £20, and in store they'll have it for a tenner, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Well, I weren't planning on picking this up, but I'll take that. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think the last time I went to FOP, which is one of the
yeah,
HMV shops, and I went in there to try and get the second Doctor Who movie with Peter Cushing, and the guy was like, don't have it. I can't order it in either because it's like out of print. I was like, really? So
I'll
okay,
print already.
fine. Yeah. I literally went on Amazon as soon as I got outside the store and was like, I can order it off Amazon now, so it's not really out of print.
Yeah, no.
So
That that's the main problem with that. I love going to HMV, just going in there and you're just surrounded by physical media. But then the only
yeah.
thing is, it's just so convenient to go to like Amazon or dare I
Yeah.
say Zavi and then
Hmm.
get it.
Yeah.
But obviously with Zavi, it's
Yeah.
going to
I
get big dents in it.
I think I've only ordered once off Savvy to be honest. But I can't lie, I order a lot of Amazon. Most of my movies come from Amazon. Just
Yeah,
comes the next day. It's always
it's
good. And
convenient.
yeah, if there is a dent on it or something, if there something's wrong with it, it's so easy to get it replaced as well. So
Yeah, I think the problem with Zavi is like their customer service is so poor. Like they
mm,
don't converse in conversation with you. You're saying
mm,
this is damaged, but then they don't
hmm,
reply. And it's sort of like
yeah,
sort of reply, so then I can sort of get my money back or switch it for.
yeah.
But it's
I've,
savvy.
I've
So,
I've seen it on a few like the Facebook pages where people are just putting in like the terrible customer service with Zabi. So I do
yeah,
try to avoid them. I can't lie, and I've done a pretty good job other than as I say 1 or 2 items. So
yeah. I mean, a while ago I ordered the Dawn of the Dead 4K set off of Zavi,
Oh
and I
yeah,
was like just praying that it just wasn't damaged. Luckily, it wasn't. That
yeah,
was like one of the only things that wasn't damaged, but luckily it
yeah.
was that wasn't got damaged. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I'd feel pretty nervous ordering off at Zavi nowadays,
yeah,
especially after all the horror stories.
yeah, definitely.
Right, next up we got Mr. Tin and Sonic again, staying on Kong. Which is your favourite Kong brought to screen? Again, I'll let you go first, as you know you're the Kong expert.
I wouldn't say expert, but I mean, I would have to say 33, the original,
Mm,
the first original black and white one, because that
mhm,
is sort of the definitive King Kong. I
mhm.
know when you search King Kong up on Google, when people say King Kong, they sort of immediately go to Peter Jackson's one, because
Yeah.
that's, you know, the iconic picture of that CGI
Mhm,
Godzilla, King Kong there. But the 30s one is just so much better in every single way. I think
mm,
people needs to be pushed that way. I know people know it exists, but I don't think as many people have seen that compared
mm,
to the Peter Jackson one,
mhm.
because obviously Peter Jackson's one is more accessible and it's in color, so people don't get put off by it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I actually completely agree. I think the 33 one would be my favourite as well. But to be honest, I think there's only one King Kong film I haven't seen, maybe two. I don't know, but I do really like the Skull Island one and the Peter Jackson one. The only one I struggled to get through was there was the King Kong Escapes. I struggled with that one a bit,
Yeah,
and there was a sequel to the Jeff Bridges one, wasn't there? I can't remember
King
what it
Kong
was called.
lives.
Yeah, that one was a
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
bit of a struggle as well, but.
There's definitely some like offshoots of the original like King Kong films that really
Mhm,
aren't very good. I mean, that's the
mhm,
problem with King Kong. Like some of the sequels are awful, and then
mhm.
when they redo it, it's just the same story again.
Yeah,
So it really needs to get
yeah,
out of that purgatory with
yeah.
that.
I'm hoping now because the MonsterVerse is continuing, and I'm sure that King Kong will continue. And as we were saying, like the Disney Plus show is going to happen. I'm hoping we are going to get away from that same old story.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much you can do with that character, but they just haven't done it yet.
No, yeah. Well, it looks like we might finally be getting there.
Hopefully, yeah.
um, I'm wondering what's going to happen when King Kong 1933's copyright expires in a few years' time. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what this means for the movie. Maybe you do, because I don't.
I mean, the copyright for King Kong is just so muddled because various studios own like a sliver of the rights, because Universal
Oh.
owns some of it,
Mhm,
RKO owns some of it,
mhm.
Toho owns some of it, and they've all made their own King Kong stories and films.
Yeah.
But I think the actual written King Kong script and that's out of copyright. Anyone can actually do anything with King Kong.
Mhm.
But the actual film
Yeah.
from 33 is still in copyright. It goes out in a couple of years or so, but I don't know.
Right.
Who
So
knows?
in another, what, 11 years or so, when the 100th anniversary comes up for it,
Yeah,
who's gonna put it
yeah.
out? Who's gonna distribute it?
I don't know. I mean, it's like things like Night of the Living Dead, like
Yeah.
films like that. Like, there's so many different copies of it on DVD and Blu-ray everywhere.
Mhm.
There isn't like a big, like definitive. That's the copy you get, and that's
Mhm.
like the main copy. With
Yeah.
like some other films, like what editions come out, and it's like, okay, that seems like a pretty like definitive, like the Dawn of the Dead set they released. That seems like a pretty definitive. Like, if
Yeah.
you're a fan of Dawn of the Dead, get this set because it sort of
Mhm.
comes with everything. The 4K
Yeah.
set does just a bit of everything
Yeah.
in it.
It is a shame when that happens, though, like with these distribution rights problems. It is a shame because then it affects us, the collectors, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like the Friday the 13th, that series,
mm,
that's copyrights all over the place.
yeah.
Like the people who made like, oh, I forgot what the production company was. I think the guys who made like Jason Goes to Hell and that sort of stuff, they own a
Mm,
bit, and
yeah.
then the company who made the original films, they own it as
Mhm.
well. So
Yeah.
it's sort of like there's a battle between like we want to make another one, but then we don't want to make another one.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, I'm watching the Christopher Lee Dracula films at the minute, and like only three of them are out on Blu-ray, or maybe four. So I'm guessing it's something very similar with them, that series of
Yeah,
films. But
copyright is really a pain in the ass
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
It just doesn't compute with us people who actually want to watch the films and enjoy them
No,
because they're
that's
just
it.
not out there.
No, that's it. It's like all I want to do is watch the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jim is here. Hello, mate. Sorry, I'm late. No problem, my friend. And Tin and Sonic, with Wally getting a collector's edition, do you think we'll see more independent distributors teaming with Disney to release more titles in their collection lines? Well, it's a smart idea because let's face it, I think it's only collectors really that get the criterions. I don't want to bash
Yeah.
criterion, but like general people, if you go out and buy just like blockbuster movies, they're not even going to bat an eyelid at the Criterion collection. But Wally in there, they might have a look now. They might see Wally and go, "Oh, well, I know that film. I wonder what else is in here."
Yeah.
So
it's probably good for Criterion because they're getting the Disney money as well.
Exactly.
They're sort of getting the Disney deal out of that.
I think there's definitely positives to it, and I hope that I trust Criterion to sort of pick the best films as well to go in their lines. So, but
I think
don't know.
With Criterion, they seem to be like somewhat consistent of sort of the quality of films. They've got like a couple sort of sections of what they can go into for the films. Then it seems like Arrow Video over the last couple of years they've sort of gone in different areas, and it's sort of like that's not really what I wanted. With Arrow Video, I started collecting Arrow because they were things like the giallo slashers and the really like obscure horror films, and that's like the really dark, gritty stuff. And that's what I wanted from Arrow Video, and that seems like what they promised. But now they sort of because they got the Wolf of Wall Street one coming out. It looks like a great addition, but it's like, does it really fit in with the Arrow Video sort of feel?
Yeah, I must admit, when I saw that the Wolf of Wall Street was finally getting a 4K, I was like, brilliant, because I want to own that. But I was shocked to see it was in the Arrow Video range. It really caught me off guard. Because, I agree. I just kind of think of horror films, like a lot of the more obscure ones, and then kind of some more cheesy stuff like Killer Clowns and stuff being in the Arrow Video range.
I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space, though.
That is a cracking movie. But I don't know. There's a few films I've got up there. Dinner in America. It's like, does that really belong in the Arrow Video range?
Yeah.
I mean, please they're putting it out, but
I've got Dinner in America over there. That was one of my favorite films from the other year. It just sort of came out of nowhere, and it was like, well, this is actually really good. So I sort of pre-ordered it and got the Arrow.
So, I mean,
even though I don't really.
I mean, same thing as Wolf of Wall Street. It's a great film. I just doesn't feel like it belongs in the Arrow Video range.
No, I mean, just looking at my arrows here, just sort of some of them, even like you said, Killer Clowns. Just sort of looking at Killer Clowns. That's the sort of thing you want.
Yeah,
but not.
Yeah, it feels like it should be in there, but I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm pleased these films are getting put out, but I know what you mean by. Sometimes it feels like some of these films shouldn't be in the Arrow Video range, and it's like I feel like that's something I don't want Criterion to go down the road of as well. But
I think with Criterion, they sort of kept it sort of close knit. Like you can, when you think of Criterion, you can sort of straight away think of the sort of films they release. But then they sort of go slightly out of that. Like they released that Godzilla box set.
Yeah,
that really big one. It's sort of like okay, that's a bit different, but it's a great set. But I guess
that was their 1000th release, wasn't it? I think that one, because I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I got it out there, so I was just trying to look. Yeah,
I would have been. I wish I was like into collecting when that set got announced and stuff. I think I probably was, but not like the Arrow and Criterions and stuff at that time. But no, definitely. Are you going to take advantage of the Criterion sale? Got a few in Cardiff. I'm going to get a few in Cardiff tomorrow. Got to show my film worth to my professors at uni. Fair enough. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know a sale was going on, and I won't be, to tell you the truth, because I'm trying to get hold of the new iPhone at the minute, so that's gonna set me back. I'm trying to get an Apple Watch at the minute, and I should be booking. I'm trying to get tickets to Formula One next year, so I might have a very expensive week. So I don't think I'll have time for movies at the minute.
And I'm saving up the money for maybe a new project, which might be quite exciting.
Very nice.
I'm not going to say anything because it might all fall through. So
either way, I look forward to seeing what that is. But But yeah, no, I find it harder and harder nowadays. I feel like to actually spend loads of money on movies because you know, I suppose older you get, the more things you have to fork out money for. But
yeah,
so yeah,
and it's the
but
space to put them as well.
oh, that's the problem. Unbelievable. Like, what was it when there was the Doctor Who set when I bought my last Doctor Who
Mm.
set, and it's just up here. It all of a sudden I was like, right, I ended up with like a pile of Blu-rays like this, which couldn't fit on the shelf anymore. Moved everything down. I wanted it in a nice order, and I'm like, I don't know where to put all these.
That's the only problem when you've got your film collection and you can only really put it in one room,
Mm,
and it's sort of like, right, I want to put it all on display, but I can't.
yeah.
They all has to be like double stacked, like one behind the other, and it's like I just want to see it all, even though if I'm the only person seeing it,
Yeah.
I still want to see it all.
It's so disappointing as well. There's like a few films that I've had to put my whole way lately, where I'm like, I really want to keep that on display, but something's got to go.
Yeah, I mean, like this thing behind me, this is constantly changing because I'm getting new things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, collecting's not fun sometimes.
No, I know the pain of that.
Yeah.
So Jim's asked, how would you rank the Terminator films?
Terminator 2. That's all you need.
I like Terminator 1 as well. I do like Terminator 1.
Terminator and Terminator 2 are still like great films.
Yeah.
After that, it's sort of like maybe not go on. You can if you want, but
yeah, I think 3 is watchable. 3's I can get through 3, and then
with the sunglasses on.
Yeah, 4 and 5 are they're pretty terrible. I never know how to feel about what's the last one called? Dark something.
Fate.
Dark Fate. Like,
I mean,
it was.
I didn't think that was awful. Yeah.
No,
it was.
I don't know. I'm
the best one since T2. But it was sort of straight away. The film started. John Connor dies.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hang on.
Yeah.
Why? What?
Yeah.
We had a whole film of saving him, and then he dies.
Yeah.
I thought the whole point of the last 2 was trying to stop him from dying. And then he dies anyway. Like, okay, whatever.
That's
do it.
I just remember the film dragging as well at the end.
Yeah.
I just kept going. I was so ready.
They just keep bringing Arnie back for each Terminator film. It's sort of like he's not needed.
No.
Like,
I just don't get how they messed up the war with Salvation, to be honest. That's the most baffling one. But...
No.
Anyway, I'm going to bring this comment out quickly. My very good friend, Mr. Alex Pitt, has popped by and he has donated £1.79. Thank you so much, sir. That's incredibly generous of you. And yeah, thank you for being here, mate. As someone else who I need to get back on the streams, it's been too long since we had a good chat as well. So nice to have you here, mate. Now I've got to find where I was. Here we go. I once ordered from Zavi, and the order took 5 months to arrive. When I questioned them, they gave the same response: "It's on its way," or "We're working on it." Cancelled. They sent it anyway for free. Oh well, you got it for free in the end, I suppose. But 5 months is ridiculous.
Yeah, Zavi is really dodgy with customer service.
Yeah, I still remember the funniest thing was I got a very good friend in America called James, and he sent me for my birthday. He sent me this for, I can't remember what birthday, but he sent me a Criterion of Parasite because it didn't look like it was getting a UK release at one point. Anyway, then they bring out standard Blu-ray 4K, and I'm like, no, not going to get it because I was still waiting for this. It'd been like a month at this point or something. And then eventually I bought that Bong Joon-ho set because I was like, there's films in there I haven't seen and Parasite's in there. This honestly took about a year to turn up. And it was so funny when it turned up. I'm like, what is this? What is this? I opened the box and I pulled it out and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, this has been lost for like a year.
Yeah. When you mentioned that Bong Joon-ho set, I mean, all the films in there I've got like separately anyway, but I only got that because it had the black and white version of Parasite on it.
Yeah, I still watched that actually.
I managed to see that in the cinema for some reason. They showed that in my local Cineworld, which is surprising because my local Cineworld is very dodgy and showings.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've recently been trying to get into going to see a lot of these older classic movies in the cinema. It's just convincing some of my friends to go with me. But we went to
Yeah,
see the RoboCop anniversary and the Wrath of Khan, and I have tickets booked for The Thing, John
yeah,
Carpenter,
yeah,
at the end of October. But whether or not my mates still want to go, then I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
Never know. I mean,
that's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
I got a 4K release of Poltergeist showing at my Cineworld. So I was
Oh right.
surprised when that came up on the app. I was like, oh, they're actually showing
Mhm.
something decent for once. Because I
Yeah.
know there's I don't know much about it. I try to stay away from a lot of stuff, but there's a
Mhm.
film called Hatching, which seems interesting.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
then they're not showing it in my local one, but they're
Right.
showing it in Brighton and everywhere else. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
And Kevin Smith's new film, Clerks 3, they're not
Oh
showing that
yes.
in my local one.
Oh.
I sent them an email saying, why aren't you showing all these films? Like,
Mm.
we don't have the audience for it. I'm like, oh, all right
Really?
then, leave me out. I just won't see it then.
Yeah. Oh, that's so strange. Yeah, I don't know. My cinema is a bit weird. Sometimes it's like it is showing the Clerks because I was looking to see if there was anything on this Thursday because it's the
Yeah,
only night I'm free this week. But it is showing that. But yeah, it's weird. Sometimes they do miss out on films. I see like the UK is completely skipping a release on that new A24 film Pearl, which I quite wanted to
yeah.
see. So
That's really annoying me because I went to see X.
mm,
That's one of my favorite films now. I loved X. Like
really good
everything.
film.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that felt more like Texas Chainsaw Massacre more
Yeah,
than the Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre
yeah.
felt like. X felt more like the original Chainsaw than the Netflix one did.
Yeah, no, it really did. I do keep meaning to pick up the Blu-ray of X, but I just really don't like the cover.
No.
It's such a petty reason not to pick up a film.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I get it though.
I'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
Um, do you like The Great Escape? Well, I watched this like a week ago for the first time ever, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Great Escape's great.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, I preferred the back half of the movie to the first half, I'll admit.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be a common opinion.
Yeah. I think films like The Great Escape, just the general consensus is, yeah, it's one of
Mm.
the best films. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
things like, I mean, even like King Kong, all the reviews like on the original, there's just so much has been said already. There isn't really much else
No.
to be said about them. But the reason I made a documentary about King Kong was trying to bring up those older films to a
Mhm.
new generation, sort of showing people sort of
Mhm.
like some older films are better than
Mhm.
some of the new stuff we get now. Both are equally as great in some
Yeah.
areas. But
Mhm.
if you look back at some old black and white ones, they're usually quite good compared
Yeah.
to some of the new CGI stuff, which is sort of can get on your nerves a bit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I completely agree. In terms of, I think I would definitely lean towards older films, preferring older films to newer ones, and I think it's very cool that you've been able to show people the older Kong films as well, because in many ways that 33 one is, let's say, the best Kong film.
Yeah, really is. I mean, there was even a sequel what came out like literally a couple months after Son of Kong,
Mm. I
and
enjoyed that. I
yeah,
enjoyed that. I thought that
it
was,
was pretty good because all the
yeah.
same people worked on both of them, but
Mm.
then not a lot of people really have seen Son of
No.
Kong. So
See, it's really weird because like when I was watching all these movies and all the Godzilla ones, I was doing like a little ranking on my letterbox, and Son of Kong's only got like a 2.9. I was like,
yeah,
I think I gave it a 3.5 stars. I really
yeah,
enjoyed it. It was really fun. But
yeah. It's not as good as King Kong,
oh no, of course.
but it really does. It's
Mm,
its own little film,
yeah,
like it's on its own sort of thing.
yeah. I mean, it's
But
not. It wasn't very long film either, was it? Was it an hour and
no,
10 or something? But
yeah, I think they really did it because the studio said King Kong was such a hit, people like it. Quick,
yeah.
do another one.
Hmm.
But they sort of did another one, but it's fine. But it just
Yeah.
didn't have didn't have the emotional impact and the big boom that King
Mm,
Kong had,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I noticed back then they used to do that quite a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure Godzilla's second film, Godzilla Raids Again, or I
Yeah,
think it's what
Rage
it's called.
Again, yeah.
That was the same year, wasn't it, as the first
Yeah.
Godzilla?
They're
Or was it
just
like
really rushing
yeah,
into things.
yeah, just instantly pump out
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but anyway, um, There's also a lot of Japanese King Kong films. I'm wondering if they will ever find them. Oh, okay. There's some
Yeah,
more.
that's actually quite interesting, actually,
Hmm.
because when I first started this documentary, the documentary
Mhm.
was going to be about the lost Japanese King Kong films,
Oh,
but
okay.
then it was too hard, too
Mm.
hard for just me trying to find them,
Yeah.
sort of thing, because I didn't
Yeah.
have any actual resources, or I can't
Yeah.
speak Japanese, so I can't go
Mhm.
over and sort of look for them or whatever. But there, those
Yeah.
Lost King Kong films look so good. But the
Mhm.
thing is, with those Lost King Kong films, they look like, I think they were men in suits, but those films came out years before the original Godzilla did. So
Right.
there's Lost King Kong films. What did the suit work
Mhm.
before Godzilla actually did it? Which is
Oh,
a shame
really?
that we can't actually see that because they were lost in a fire. I think something like that. I read,
Yeah.
but there's very little information to do like a whole documentary about it.
Yeah.
But
No.
unless you actually have everything with you and know everything about it, but if you're only reading a little article online, you can't really do much with it.
Yeah. No, it's very surprising. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of like with the old classic Doctor Who, the um is it William Hartnell, Peter
Yeah,
no, Patrick Troughton era where there's
yeah,
like episodes missing as well. It's
yeah.
very
Show them once
frustrating.
on TV. No one,
Yeah.
no one will care. Just
No.
show them once. They'll watch it,
Yeah.
enjoy it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Very different times. Very different
Yeah,
times. um, picking up Casablanca on 4K. I'm not. I'm happy with my premium one, if I'm being honest.
yeah. I mean, all these 4K releases, I'd love to have just own all of them.
Mm,
I mean, that's the collector for me. I just want to own everything. But it's down to money. 4Ks, when you keep buying them, it
yeah.
really racks up the price. I mean, The Lost Boys is one of my favorite films of all time,
Hmm.
but I just haven't got the new release of that. I know you have,
Yeah.
you got that,
Hmm.
but I just didn't pick it up.
Yeah. I can't lie. I don't know if I would have got it if it wasn't a Cine edition because I'm a bit of a sucker for those HMV
Yeah,
Cine editions. I had to grab it. Um,
yeah. I mean, I've got
but
the Godzilla one. This is great.
oh yeah, that's actually still my favorite Cine edition they've done. I think I
Yeah,
really that more that. But yeah, no, it's great.
yeah,
It annoyed me when they cheap out on them a bit, like the Inglorious Bastards one and stuff.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing why I started with Arrow Video, because I would love their box sets they do, because they're really thick
Hmm.
cardboard on
Yeah.
them and they like
Hmm.
shove so much in it. But then you get
Hmm.
other things and it's like really flimsy cardboard, and it's like, well, I understand why it's
Yeah.
flimsy cardboard because you're trying to save money on it, but surely if you're sort of going into the market of selling things to collectors,
Hmm.
sort of put a bit more thought into it, so then we will actually buy it and not
Yeah.
complain.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's a shame when they do cheapen out every now and then. But
Yeah,
oh, here's another one. Halloween's copyright is all over the place, which is why we never got a box set. Yeah, I mean, I ended up importing this from Italy, which
yeah,
has the original 8 in, which is fine with me because I'm going to be honest, I really don't like the two Rob Zombie films. So I'm completely fine with not
no,
having them.
yeah,
But
no, I really don't like Halloween 2.
oh, really? See, I'm do not mind Halloween 2 at all. Oh, have we got some connection issues? Doesn't end here. I think we might. Question is it on my end or not? Bear with me, guys. If anyone can let me know in the comments as well, what's happening. It's always very awkward. I hope it is at my end, or else I've left poor Tom there in the chat on his own. Okay, no, I think it is on his end. You're moving, James. Okay, I'm fine. I'm okay. Let me just message Tom, see what's happening. Maybe I'll take him out of the picture for a minute till he starts moving again. I'll message him. Bear with me, people. I'm just gonna send him a quick message. See what's happening. Um, Right, see what's happening. Oh, hang on. Here we go. I think he's back. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
There we are.
Don't know what happened there.
Not sure. It's always so like, is it me? Or is it?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Glitch in the Matrix there.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, we were talking about Halloween. You said you
Halloween
were
box sets, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, with Halloween films, I've got them all separately on DVD and Blu-ray. But I'd love to get like the box set you have because I'm a sucker for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But then they don't have a proper main release. Like go back to Dawn of the Dead one, they don't have like a main release, which is like get this release. It's got everything in it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because obviously, like we say, you missed the Rob Zombie ones, and then there's no point them doing a box set anyway until Ends comes out. But it'd be nice if when Ends comes out, they do a full box set with what is it, 13 movies in total now? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
That would be cool. But to be honest, I'm like, this is the reason I didn't buy Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills. I'm waiting for Ends. I get a 4K set with all the new 3 in, is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Well, I'm really looking forward to Halloween Ends because the Halloween franchise is one of my favorite horror franchises. And I'm hoping with this, it's sort of a good conclusion. And by the title Halloween Ends, I'm hoping they sort of end it.
Yeah.
Because I know I like parts of all the Halloween films, but it's sort of like some of them, like you just know, like Halloween Resurrection, I think it's called. It's just like, why do you exist? You don't need to be in the franchise.
Yeah.
There's some decent enough like kills and whatever, but it's like it's just not worthy of the Halloween name.
No, I know what you mean. I really like the Halloween franchise overall. I watched it last Halloween for the first time, all of them. And don't get me wrong, there's some duds in there. There's some films I don't like, but overall, it's a very fun franchise for sure.
Yeah, I mean the same with all those franchises, Friday and Nightmare on Elm Street. They're fantastic franchises and just iconic characters, but it's got some real duds in there. What just really don't fit in with the rest of the films. Because like, how can you have like the first Nightmare on Elm Street and then the last one, Freddy's Dead? It's like Freddy's Dead is terrible, but the first one is a horror masterpiece. Like how I know Wes Craven did the original, he didn't do the last one, but it's sort of like try and keep in the same sort of vein. Because I know the first Halloween was John Carpenter, and then Halloween 2 wasn't directed by John Carpenter, but it feels like a John Carpenter film because they tried to emulate his style, and it worked in a way.
Yeah, and
sort of kept the continuity up.
For me, that's one of the things I loved about the new Scream. It felt like a Scream movie. It worked really well. So
yeah, the only Scream film I just really don't like is Scream 3.
That's my least favorite.
Yeah, the first Scream, masterful filmmaking. It's one of the best horror films of that genre, of that subgenre in horror. But then had Scream 2, similar, but it's not needed, but it's there. It's great. It's an all right film. Then Scream 3, no, it just doesn't make sense. Why with the killers? Like, what's the motivation? There isn't actually any real push for the killers to do what they do.
It's funny. It's the only film I saw. It's the only Scream film because I watch most of my movies upstairs in my room alone. Because 4K TV, I switch all my lights off and stuff. Make a proper event out of it. But occasionally during the day on the weekends, I'll go downstairs and watch a movie. And Scream 3 is the only one that I watched downstairs. It's the only one that my parents watched, and they were like, "Why do you watch this shit?" And I was like, "Trust me, the others are better. I've enjoyed the others.
All the other ones are great.
Yeah,
it's just this one."
Unfortunately, you've caught me watching this one because it's like Star Trek. Been rewatching that. The only two I watched downstairs was the fifth one, The Voyage Home. I think it was. No, was it The Voyage Home? No, The Final Frontier. Terrible. And it was one of the later Next Generation crew ones, which was also really bad. And like again, I was like, "Trust me, the others are better."
Wrath of Khan's great, so watch that one. That's good.
Let's go to this question then. What's your favorite TV show or least favorite? Least favorite.
That's a hard question because I don't really watch a lot of TV. I mean, I watch shows, but I can't think of
Mm,
like a least favorite. I
yeah.
mean, least favorite seasons,
Hmm.
probably the new Doctor Who.
Oh, that's a good one.
Least favorite seasons of a show I like
Yeah.
is the new Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But
That's a good one. Like shows I love, Doctor Who, this era. Game of Thrones, I
yeah,
was so disappointed with the final season.
yeah,
A show I just don't like in general for me would be Mrs. Brown's Boys. Springs to mind very quick.
yeah. I've seen like the Christmas special sort of thing has been in the
Yeah,
background and sometimes, and I'm sort of sitting there and like, what?
yeah,
It's just not funny.
yeah,
I don't know if I'm stupid. I just don't get it. But I'm just like, no, it's just I don't find it funny.
yeah. No. No, I'm on your side. I'm not a fan of Mrs. Brown's Boys. It's
No,
one that comes up a lot here.
yeah,
Um, so here we go. We got Arrow has gotten more mainstream after Zavi bought them and also abandoned Arrow Academy. Okay, I didn't even know this happened, to be honest. I'm very
yeah,
unaware. I just buy.
right, yeah. I mean, I think Arrow Academy sort of feels Criterion-esque. Those sort of
Mm,
releases, what more like highbrow cinema compared to the mainstream Arrow releases, where they
hmm.
release all sort of like gritty video nasties, giallo
Yeah.
films.
Hmm.
But I mean, that's what I want from Arrow. They really feel
Yeah.
like dirty feeling horror films.
I can't lie. I don't think I've ever bought any of those old Arrow films that were like in the yellow cases and stuff. I see them all the time on like
Yeah,
Facebook pages, Instagram pages, and I do see them in the shop, but I don't really pay much attention to them. But
no,
I have yet to actually get any of those in the collection.
no. I mean, I don't know the history of Arrow video all that well, but I mean,
Mm.
I got this one, but then it seems like an older release, but I'm not sure because I mean, I've watched it was on YouTube called Christmas Evil,
Oh,
but
right.
then
Okay. Hmm.
it's a DVD. I'm not sure if Arrow ever released it on Blu-ray or not, but I don't know
Mm.
if it's an older release or not. But
Hmm.
I got it on eBay for a couple quid. So I like the
Yeah.
film. I'll get it on out
Yeah.
on eBay.
That's
But
interesting, to be fair.
yeah,
I didn't even know Arrow done DVDs, to be honest. So,
no,
but
yeah,
no, that's
there you
fine. Top 5 Pixar films. Do you want to go first, or
go. Toy Story 1, 2, 3,
nice?
Ratatouille,
Hmm.
and Monsters Inc.
Very nice selection. Very nice. I was straight in with the original 3 Toy Stories.
Yeah,
I mean, I definitely have Toy Story 1 in there. I got Nemo, Wally, Ratatouille, and a fourth one would be
Lightyear.
God, Lightyear. And I don't
No one
mind
saw
Lightyear, but no.
that.
Maybe Monsters Inc. Maybe Monsters Inc. I don't know. I really like Coco as well. One of
Like,
the new
yeah,
ones.
when you think of Pixar, you think of like Nemo,
Mm,
uh, Toy Story, Monsters Inc. But then you look into it more, and it's like, oh wait, then there's Up,
yeah,
Wally, Coco, and
exactly.
all these other great films.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I don't know how good it is. But there was a new one, Turning Red. I haven't seen that one yet.
Do you know what? That was surprisingly good. This year, I thought Turning Red would be the forgettable one. It'll be just okay, and
Yeah,
then Lightyear is going to be incredible. And I don't want to say it was the other way around because I wouldn't say Turning Red was incredible, but Turning
mm,
Red was a lot better than Lightyear,
yeah.
surprisingly.
I mean, I only went to see Lightyear because I'm such a big fan of the original 3 Toy Story films. So I went
Mm,
to see Lightyear, and it was fine.
yeah,
It was just not needed. Like Toy Story 4, not needed.
it's
It's
such.
there.
Oh, see, I am a fan of Toy Story 4, but
Yeah,
do you know what? I thought the Lightyear idea was so cool. I was like, yeah, this
yeah.
is how we continue the Toy Story franchise, sort of. We
I
make a
really love
new.
I love the beginning where it says like Andy saw this film
Mm,
back then and this is the toy, and then they
mhm.
show the film. But I was hoping at the end of the film it's gonna zoom out and show Andy in the cinema holding
Yeah.
all the toys. Look, that would have been a nice like nostalgic moment. But
Do you think
obviously,
they done that because they were
yeah,
hoping? Well, if we show Andy, maybe we can't do a 2 or 3. But
yeah,
if we don't show Andy, we can do more movies.
yeah.
But
But then I don't think they're gonna do more because they didn't do well.
no, it is a shame. I thought it was
Yeah,
okay. I do like the
yeah,
time plot aspect to it, but other
yeah.
than that, Yeah.
It was weird hearing Chris Evans in the role of Buzz Lightyear when I'm so used to Tim Allen. I mean, he was great in the role, but it just felt weird.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fair. I can completely understand that. So Liam Neeson, very cool, asks, what are your thoughts on the new Star Wars Tales of the Jedi official trailer, and are you excited for it? I mean, people here know me. I'm a huge Clone Wars fan. I thought the trailer was incredible. I'm buzzing for this shit. This is like me and Star Wars animation. I love it. So yeah, I'm all
any
there.
Star Wars content, I'm slurping
Yeah.
it up. Anything Star Wars, I'm there for it. I'll
Yeah.
watch it, see if it's good. If I like it, I'm all there.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Book of Boba Fett in the sequels, a bit iffy, but I like some of it.
To be fair, Book of Boba Fett, I always try to defend that one because I know the first 4 episodes were kind of boring, but the back 3, I mean, it was basically Mandalorian season 2.5, but so good.
I mean, but the thing with Book of Boba Fett, it was so frustrating because it was so great to see Luke, Mando, and Grogu there, but it's like I'm here for Boba Fett, not that. It's I love all the characters, but it's sort of like I want Boba Fett in his own show, not Mando. Mando can be there, but not as prominent.
I feel like it takes away from Mando season 3 a bit as well. I've been discussing this with my mates lately because of the season 3 trailer for Mando, and it's like, well, it's like we ended the last season with Grogu leaving, and now he's just back. Like I know that you do see him come back, but it feels weird that it didn't happen in the right show, if you know what I mean.
It felt like they'd done it too quickly. Like one show finished, Luke took him away. The next show, you see him with Luke, and he comes back, and they're together again. It's like, it's nice. That was a great scene. Love the scenes, but it felt too quick. It was so like rushed.
Absolutely no. I did love it all, but I just think it should have happened in the actual Mandalorian show.
I mean, with Tales of the Jedi, I mean that trailer looked great. I mean, I don't really know exactly what they're trying to do with it, but just the animation style. Obviously, it's like the Clone Wars and Bad Batch. That animation style, they've got it right down, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Honestly, one of my favorite Star Wars characters, definitely in my top 10, potentially even top 5 character for me is Dooku, and not many people get it because they've only seen the movies. But I'm just so excited that we're going to get some episodes dedicated to Dooku because he's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's Christopher Lee's epic.
Exactly.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I think he's going to fight. I mean, I've been watching people analyze the training. It looks like he's going to fight Yaddle, so that should be pretty cool as well.
We need more Yaddle content.
We do. I think we're going to see her die. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Playteno guy's here. Hello, mate. Good to have you here. And what are some of your favorite thrillers? Oh God, that's so hard to answer off the top of my head.
Yeah. The film genre or the Michael Jackson album?
Oh, let's go with the genre because I'm not super familiar with the album. I remember that song he done on it with McCartney, which weren't very good.
Yeah. Don't know.
Oh.
It's a hard one. When you watch so many films, it all gets muddled together.
That's the thing. It's sort of hard to think what class the thriller. Best thriller movies. I'm just gonna Google it, see what comes up.
I'm letterboxing it.
Nope comes up straight away. Well, there's a big old nope to that.
Really? That come up as a thriller? I mean, to be honest, I really wouldn't call Nope a horror film either. But
no, I'm
in the middle.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to pass on this, to be honest. I don't really know what I'd say off the top of my head. I feel like there's too many movies, and
Yeah. I mean, just like you did, I'm just looking up thriller, and I mean, things like El Camino, Joker, Parasite, and that are coming up. They're all great films, but it's sort of like you can't pick one like that.
No, it's like Parasite. There's a bit of horror in there as well, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I don't know, but
hard question. It's like when you say, "What's your favorite film?" You can't just pick one. No. Yeah, you know.
It's always so hard because it's like I go straight to like Star Wars, but then I'm like, yeah, but there's so many great movies as well.
Think outside the box. There's so many.
Yeah, it's like I almost get a bit bored of just saying Star Wars all the time, or
Yeah,
like Lord of the Rings as a close second. It's like, or Jurassic Park. It's like, oh, I want to say so many others.
yeah. But then you don't want to sound too sort of arty and be too obscure
Yeah,
with your answers because you'll
that's
seem like, oh,
yeah.
you're a bit too much there. But then if you
No,
say
that's it.
something basic,
Yeah,
it's sort of you can talk about it with people. You say,
I've
"What's your
always
favorite film?" Back to the Future. Oh,
yeah
they've seen that. You can talk
yeah
about it. But if you say something else, really like an art house film, they're like, no idea what that is,
yeah.
and the sort
No,
of
that's it.
conversation stops.
I've always tried to stay pretty level-headed with stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, no, my favorite films in the Criterion. I like
Yeah,
my favorite films always will be those classic blockbusters because that's what I grew up on. I love rewatching them,
yeah,
but it's also nice to give a say, oh, but this film in the Criterion Collection is also amazing, or then
yeah,
go, but Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah,
So it's always good to.
yeah,
I think it's always good to be open to everything like that. I think.
yeah, definitely.
What was your worst cinema experience?
In
Mm.
terms of the film, what was being shown,
Let's
or
say in terms of the
generally?
film, and maybe just like, have you ever had a bad one with like people in there?
Well, I can't remember the name of the film, but it was just after the cinemas opened back up. The
Mhm.
film was all right, but
Mhm.
then it was me, this old guy at the front, and this couple in the corner in the back. And then I was in on the back with my friend on the other side, and we just
Mhm.
sort of saw lots of rustling coming from that side.
Mhm.
And then suddenly they were on top of each other,
Oh my god.
and it was sort of like, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Do we leave?
Yeah.
Do
Well,
we
should we
what?
leave?
What do we do? Do we tell someone
Yeah.
what's going on? So
So
we just sort
yeah.
of quietly left, told someone, and they sort of
Yeah.
ran away. And so
I don't blame
it
you.
was
I
just
think
a
I would
bit
have done
weird.
the same.
Yeah.
How about a film? A film that was like a struggle to get through.
Again, that's another one where you just have to think hard. Like, I don't
Mm.
know. I mean, I saw Minions, the first one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was. I mean, I don't like any of the. I mean, any of the Illumination films. I
Yeah.
just, yeah, apart from the first Despicable Me, all the
Mhm.
other Illumination films are like, why? It's just not funny.
No.
I
No.
don't get it, and the animation looks so cheap with it.
Yeah, that's a problem I have. I can get into it a bit. Like I went to see the new Minions, and me and my friends went to a Weatherspoons before. It was like I gotta have a couple drinks before this one, or else
Yeah,
I'm gonna be miserable.
yeah,
Um, but the animation does look very cheap, I must say.
yeah. I mean, that just reminded me. I went to see when Cats came out. I went to
Oh
see
yes,
Cats on. I went to see Cats on New Year's Eve with a group of
hmm
friends.
yeah,
The film was terrible,
hmm
but I wouldn't say it was a bad experience because we were just laughing the whole,
yeah,
like trying not to like be too loud.
yeah,
But it was just James Corden as a cat.
yeah,
It's just like, what's going on?
yeah.
It's
Again,
so confusing.
it's funny. I remember Cats coming out because like there's only five of us. We got like a little cinema WhatsApp chat, me and my mates. We've all got the unlimited
Yeah,
cards. But all of a sudden for Cats, there was like 10 of us that wanted to go see it because
yeah,
we all went to a pub before, obviously, and got pretty rat ass.
yeah,
We go in and we're like, right, we're all drunk, we're all drunk. Let's be respectful because there are some people that are actually here to, we're mature people. So we go in,
yeah.
and when everyone else is laughing louder than us, we were like, okay, guys, we're good. We can laugh a
Good.
bit louder.
Yeah. But the only problem is when I went to see Cats with my mates, there was just a lot of old people around because
Yeah,
obviously they were fans of the original show,
yeah,
and we just felt kind of bad if we
yeah,
laughed because
yeah.
obviously they're there because they're respecting the
hmm
like.
hmm
Me and my mates, we respect cinema as a whole, but
hmm
not Cats.
No.
We didn't we didn't pay to see it to respect that film.
No, no, that's completely fair.
Yeah,
Oh, it was an interesting experience seeing Cats, I must say. But
yeah,
I don't know. For me, I feel like the film I disliked the most was Rise of Skywalker because I couldn't believe what I was watching.
yeah,
But I also want to say the film I was most bored in. This is quite recent. I remember being so bored, and I was so happy when it ended. Was actually the new Matrix movie. I was
major,
so bored during that movie. It was one of those experiences where when the movie ended, I was like, "Oh, thank God I can leave." I was just so
and yeah,
fed up.
the new Matrix film is just weird.
Yeah.
It feels like I mean, I partially enjoyed Elements because it was like, oh wow, I'm watching a new Matrix film on the
Yeah.
big screen. But then it was like, yeah, but it's shit.
Yeah.
It's not the Matrix. Like,
No.
it was cool seeing Keanu Reeves back in all black and that sort of thing, but it was like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same feel to it. I mean, like Matrix 2 and 3, they just, even those films don't have the same feel as the first one did.
Yeah. No. No, absolutely, I agree. It's the first one's very unique. I don't mind the second one personally, but yeah, 3 was not very good, and then oh my
No.
god, 4. If I never watch that movie again, that'd be fine with me.
Yeah.
And then I remember having a bad experience. I went to see Greatest Showman like 3 times in the cinema.
Yeah.
And one of those, it wasn't the first one, but like my second or third time around to see that, it was like packed screen. I was on the end. I had like my mate, and I'd taken my mum and sister as well to see it. And there were like 2 girls sitting next to me that were just gushing over Zac Efron the whole time. But they were saying it at the top of their lungs and saying some very uncomfortable things when you've got your mate and your mum sitting next to you. And it was not very pleasant. And I could hear people, I could see people turning around looking at them in the cinema. And it's just like, she wasn't even a couple seats down from me. She was directly next to me, and I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, oh my God.
It's just when people feel the need to like speak, or even speak so loudly in the cinema, it's like, shut up. You've paid, and we've paid. Just sit quietly and watch the film.
It's always the awkwardness of as well, like, is someone going to say anything? Or how long do I wait before maybe I say something?
Is it me or the other guy who says something?
Yeah.
We both look annoyed. Which one's going to say it?
It's very rare I say anything. I think I've only ever said anything like twice in the cinema. But I still remember, funny enough, during Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2 kids screaming a hot way for it. And one of my mates, who I don't go to the cinema with very much, all of a sudden just turned around to them and just screamed, "Shut the fuck up." And they were quiet for the rest of it. I patted him on the back. I was like, good job. But anyway, one of my mates has just popped out. I just want to bring his comment up. He's probably not even here anymore. My mate Luke, when are we booking Smile? Trying to get me to go see this horror film, which I don't really want to see. The thing is, they want to go see this film. I wanted to go see Jaws a couple of weeks ago, and none of them went with me. So I don't see why I should go see Smile with them.
I mean, Smile, by the trailer, I'm kind of on 2 halves of, like, I kind of want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks interesting enough, but then it sort of, look, it's got that generic new age horror film feel with it, and it's like, it's probably going to be terrible. It's got that feel to it. It just doesn't feel like it's a well-grounded horror film. It might actually be a well-grounded film. You can never really trust trailers all that well. Just look at the original Suicide Squad.
Well,
but the new film called Smile, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I kind of like the horror films. There were ones that I either feel connection with, like Halloween and stuff, or there are ones that just look better. I feel like, even though I wasn't a huge fan of this, like Nope looks really good. This is why I wanted to see that. But anyway, he's not happy with my response there, obviously. But anyway, so I don't know if I'll be seeing Smile, but I have all my mates unlimited cards, so I can book it for you, Luke. I can book it for everyone. But I'm not going to turn up. Anyway, what films do you think are so bad that the perfect way to watch them is to have some drinks? Oh God, well, me and my mates have loads of these. Like around lockdown time when we could only go around each other's houses. In fact, some of them weren't bad. Some of them were just really campy. So we just liked having like the Mamma Mia films. Have a few drinks with them, then everyone starts singing. But so bad, we've had drinks with them. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what ones we've done that with. Do you have any? I think do that with, or
I think the main answer, I think you can watch this film without drinks or without drinks, is The Room, Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, so
like that.
Yeah,
like, to be honest, that is actually in my favorite films because it is so bad, but you just can't help but enjoy it. You know, it can enhance the experience if you have some drinks, but you don't need to have drinks for that one because it's just so weird on its own.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. I love that movie. See, I really want to watch with my mates, because like my mate Ryan, who I do the podcast with, he hasn't seen it. I really want to do Spy Kids 3 with a couple drinks. Because I remember that film being bonkers, like the terrible CGI and Stallone in it. There's so many other like
Yeah.
weird actors that pop up in it as well.
Oh, I haven't seen the Spy Kids films properly for years.
To be fair, the first two are actually okay.
Yeah.
3 is just something else, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because I love the director Robert Rodriguez. I like so many of his other films he's done, but the Spy Kids stuff, it feels really weird
Yeah.
compared to stuff he's done like Machete with Danny Trejo in. It's like you got
Yeah.
that. I mean, Danny Trejo plays Machete in Spy Kids as well. It's just like a weird.
Yeah, he's the uncle or something, isn't he? In Spy Kids, yeah.
But he's Uncle Machete in Spy Kids,
Well,
but then he made.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. No.
That's so because what's his name? The guy who voices Puss in Boots is the dad, isn't he? And
yeah.
He there's a scene in the third one I remember where he's got all these brains on the table, and he's like, he gets a phone call. He's like, "Your kids need you," and then there's this slow motion shot of him like throwing all the brains everywhere, like standing up, looking all heroic, hands on hips. It was like, what the hell's going on?
Those films were weird.
Yeah, but I'm desperate to have a few people have some drinks to watch the third one because it sounds like a lot of fun in my head. Okay, they should bring the Gamera into the next one. That would be awesome. I'm guessing it's like the MonsterVerse. Well, I don't know if they can. Is Gamera like leased out? Like,
is
like
Gamera made by Toho?
I don't think so. I don't think
they can do that.
No.
Because Toho has struck a deal with Legendary so they can own the rights, like shared rights to like King Ghidorah, Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, that sort of thing. But then if Gamera isn't owned by Toho, then I don't think the rights to that will be muddled.
Right. It's a shame, really, as well. Like that they aren't just someone isn't making Gamera movies at the moment. It seems like that's a character that's. I never knew Gamera existed before these Arrow video box sets. I'll admit to that. But after watching, especially the Hasty era ones, I think that's what it is, the later ones, they were so good. Like, I don't know why Gamera films aren't happening.
Don't know. I mean, generally, kaiju films nowadays aren't really a big thing. I mean, there's definitely big fan bases for them, but then when they do release a kaiju film, it's really hit or miss. I mean, Pacific Rim, fantastic, but then Pacific Rim Uprising wasn't. I mean, Pacific Rim, the first one was great because it's Del Toro, and like every film he's made, there's a level of sort of respect, and he knows how to make a film. Yeah. Obviously, he loves all the kaiju stuff, so he knew sort of how to build a mythology with the characters. But Pacific Rim Uprising was just terrible. And I think John Boyega, that was like his next platform after Star Wars. Yeah, I feel sorry for him because Star Wars sort of failed for him, and then this failed. But then he's sort of gone back to doing small art house films now, which I think he's better at than this doing Star Wars. I mean, I loved his character in Star Wars, but Disney screwed his character up. Yeah, they just didn't know what to do with him. It's such a cool character, a stormtrooper who has the potential to become a Jedi. That's a cool idea to put in the films. Obviously, they had to go with woman power with Rey.
No, absolutely. I completely agree with that. It is good that he's doing these sort of smaller films. I think he's doing another Attack the Block soon as well. Yeah. But I hear that Woman King as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but yeah.
Yeah, my mate Ryan's
interesting.
Yeah, my friend who I do a podcast with, he's going to the premiere of that, and seen nothing but incredible reviews so far for it. So I'm sure that will be really good.
Hopefully, yeah.
Jen says, "Finally made it to a stream where I'm not late." Well, we're just late getting to your comments, or I am. So I apologise. Hi guys, what movie have you watched more than once this year? I've watched Top Gun Maverick so many times this year. For me, normally it's always Revenge of the Sith. I watch that movie so many times every year, but I've finally started using Letterboxd properly, where every time I watch a movie, I log it, even if I've already seen it. So it's got to be the Batman for me. I've watched that film 5 or 6 times this year, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I use Letterboxd religiously, really. I mean, my pro membership on Letterboxd just ran out. Annoyingly.
Oh, really?
And I can't be bothered to pay the money for it again.
That's fair.
I think my most watched films were probably Terminator 2. I've probably watched that so many times this year.
Yeah.
For some reason. It always seems to be on TV every time I go on
Yeah.
normal TV on the Skybox. It's always on some channel. And I'm like, all right then, I'll sit and watch it.
I'm the same though lately. Like I've become really religious with Letterboxd. Every time I watch a movie, I gotta log it now. I gotta log it.
Yeah.
And if it's, I've got lists. If it can go somewhere on a list, goes on one of
Yeah.
those lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
If I didn't log it on Letterboxd, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't exist. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I tell you, like I've been so bad, like because I went out for a birthday thing on Saturday. So yesterday I was pretty hungover most of the day. So I think I watched 4 movies yesterday throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then today, while the funeral's been on, and it's no disrespect to the funeral, it was beautiful to watch. It was amazing. But I had a film on in the background on my laptop, like throughout the whole thing. So I think I've watched 3 movies today as well. So I've been logging constantly the last couple of days.
Yeah. I mean, I've with the funeral, I've watched bits and pieces of that off of my phone, but it's like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
I feel sad. Sorry, she's gone, but I don't have the patience to watch them march down the road for 5 hours.
That's completely understandable. That's why I had a movie on the whole time. I was like, I want to watch it so I could say I've watched it. And it is interesting. It is. It's part of our history, our culture.
Yeah.
But it's very long-winded. I need something else going on. Have you ever seen Instant Family starring Mark Wahlberg? If you haven't seen it, big recommendation. Do you know what? I remember this movie coming out because I remember there being huge billboards for it up all around London when I was obviously doing a lot of work in London at the time. And and then all of a sudden it just popped up on Netflix like a few weeks later. I was like, oh, I guess this didn't do very well. I've heard it's actually okay, but it just looks to me like one of those kind of fluffy family films. But...
Yeah, I mean, what I normally say with films is I would watch anything and everything, but then when you actually get down to it, a film like that, I'm like, probably pass that one. Yeah. It might be all right, but I don't know. I'm a bit more sort of dark and gritty. I would rather watch some really sleazy horror film from the 70s.
See, I normally am. My thing is, this is the type of movie that I probably will end up watching at some point, because when I'm at work and I'm just sitting at my desk and I have access to Netflix, that's the type of background movie I'll throw on.
You don't have to put all your focus on.
Yeah, so it's something I potentially will watch one day, but I'll be honest, I'm not in a huge rush to watch this one.
No.
Have you guys watched Cobra Kai Season 5?
Yes.
I had a feeling Karate Kid shirt.
Karate Kid shirt, yeah. I mean, Cobra Kai, as great as it is, some of it really is sort of like some of the like kids in it. I'm like, I don't care about them. I just want to see Daniel's son. Like, I want to get back to Johnny and Daniel and Chosen. Like, I mean, like some of like the teenage drama with the kids and that is sort of feels very Disney Channel-esque.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Overall, it's a great show that they brought it back, and I really enjoy it. But some of it's sort of like get back to the nostalgia fest. I'm sort of there for that.
Yeah, it's cheesy as hell, and it's got a little bit cringe at times as well, I guess. But it's just so much fun, I think.
Yeah.
Overall.
It's like when season 5 came out, I said to myself, I'm going to watch like 1 or 2 episodes every other day to savor it. And then I just watch the whole thing because they're short enough and they're just so bingeable and enjoyable.
Yeah. No, I do know what you mean there. It is just very easy watching stuff. I think very easy watching.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got 15 minutes left, so I might for the last couple questions here, I'm going to skip through the comments a bit. So apologies if I do skip over your question if you're watching. But let's have a look. Let's see if we can find any. Okay. Do you think there will be a 6th Pirates of the Caribbean movie? Well, not with Johnny Depp, but I'm sure Disney will want to keep on raking in that Pirates money because they make so much money. So yeah, I think there'll be another one. I
wasn't a big fan of the last one.
No, neither was I.
I liked it because Johnny Depp. I mean, Johnny Depp's one of those actors. Like, he's a childhood actor. Like Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd, Willy Wonka, his version of Willy Wonka, like
Mhm.
it was all over my childhood sort of thing.
Mhm.
So I always go into the pirate films thinking, even if it's a terrible film, I'm going to enjoy it because Johnny Depp's there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Whereas this
Fair.
new one now, he's not going to be there.
Mm.
Or if they actually go forward with the new one, it's not going to be there. So it might not be as enjoyable.
No, I don't think you can have a pirates film without Johnny Depp or Jack Sparrow. I just don't think
No.
you can do it.
Pirates of the Caribbean is Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, yeah, it's a shame really that Johnny and Disney have had such a falling out. But
Yeah.
hopefully, I don't think it'll happen. But you never know. You never know. Maybe
No.
they'll just slap a big old bill on his desk one day, and he'll be like, oh, "I've got to do it. I've got to do it."
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Rings of Power?
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
I haven't got around to it yet. No.
It's really good, but
Yeah.
I think House of the Dragon is better, and
Better.
that's
Yeah.
taking a lot of my attention at the minute.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
But,
such a fan of Peter Jackson's work anyway. So
yeah,
obviously, the new Amazon Prime show is going to be endlessly compared to the Lord of the Rings trilogy anyway. So
yeah,
you're always going to have that comparison. I know they're sort of set. They are two different entities, but they're always. When I watch Rings of Power, I'm always going to be like, yeah, but they did it. Peter Jackson did it better.
mm,
It looked better in that one.
yeah. No, that's completely fair. I do get. I mean, Lord of the Rings is just it's so on another level. Those three movies.
Yeah.
But they've captured his kind of feel and the essence of those movies pretty well here, and it looks incredible. The show visually, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all the trailers. Visually, it looks great, but I just haven't sat down and thought, right, that's it. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
But,
No, it's good though. It is good. But as I say, for me, I think it's just come out at the wrong time. I think there's so much going on at the minute, especially with House of the Dragon, which is obviously very similar.
yeah,
I think it was just wrong time. I think.
yeah, because obviously Game of Thrones is a new Game of Thrones thing is gonna overtake anything else because that is so. I know Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones is equally popular, but Game of Thrones is such a behemoth now because it is more recent than Lord of the Rings. It's going to take over it.
Absolutely, it's a lot more fresh and in people's minds, I think, and yeah, it's interesting now. They're both doing well, which is the main thing. They're both getting good reviews, so it's good that both shows are doing well. But for me, I'm definitely leaning towards House of the Dragon more.
Yeah.
Do you ever double dip on shows, movies, as new editions come out? I've lost count with how many times I've bought Harry Potter and Doctor Who. I do the upgrade to 4K, but I don't know if I've ever got like 2 copies of a film in my collection. I don't think I do.
Yeah, I've got quite a fair amount of copies of American Werewolf in London. For some reason, I've got 3 Blu-rays, 2 DVDs, and 2 different versions of the VHS tapes.
Oh, okay, wow, that is a lot.
For some reason, I just see them and I thought, oh, cool cover, I'll get that one. And then I suddenly thought, wait, do I have that one? And I'll look in the area where it would be. And it's like, oh, I've already got it like multiple times. Do I need it?
I think I've only ever done that once. I can't remember what film it was, but I went out, picked up a bunch of movies, come home, was slotting them in, and went to slot one movie, and I was like, oh, I've already got it. So I think
if it's got a different cover, it's fine.
Yeah. See, I'm not too bad at stuff like. I actually, I tell you what, I have double dipped with a few of my Disneys because I've bought I'm looking at them now. I've got like Soul and Luca with the collectible covers, but then I bought them in 4K when they come out. So down where my animated 4Ks are, I have a 4K copy of Soul and Luca as well. So double dipped a couple times there.
Double dipping is quite a sort of dodgy area to go into.
I try not to do that too much. Okay, where are we at? We're getting closer to the bottom of the comments here. Okay, this is interesting. Game console or 4K player to watch movies? I watch my movies on my PlayStation 5. It was one of the reasons why I wanted to buy a PlayStation 5 when it got announced, because I just got my 4K TV in my room, and I was like, don't have a 4K player. I was like, I'm just going to wait for the PS5 because that will play 4K films.
Yeah, same as you. I use a console for it.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because I really want to get a multi-regional sort of player.
Yeah.
Because there's some because I'm a big horror film guy, and there's some films like that just don't have a UK release at all. So I need a multi-regional player to play those, but then I can't because I'm got a console, and those multi-regional players cost quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it's like that. Speaking of box sets, there's a Friday the 13th one, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's region locked or if it's region free. So you'd need a multi-regional player for those films, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But
region lock things, I mean, I think they should really just figure out how to stop doing that now. Surely make it all sort of multi-region, like one copy of whatever film you can watch it anywhere. I mean, I don't know how that it works, that side of things, all too well, but surely they could work out a way to have it like one copy of like Chainsaw Massacre can be for everything.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's frustrating, but well, I'm not even sure how much those multi-regional players cost. I'm guessing quite a bit.
I think last time I looked, they were a bit. I might be wrong, but I didn't have enough money at the time to to sort of think, oh yeah, I'll just get that, because then that'd be like 100 odd quid just gone. It's like,
yeah, I know, that's fair enough. So potential spoiler alert for Doctor Who Century Special. Someone told me that they heard an inside source that Jodie Whittaker will regenerate into David Tennant's spoiler over. Well, I've read it out loud now, so
yeah. I mean, if you're on Twitter, you've probably seen all those pictures with Bernard Cribbins and them all on Twitter anyway.
Well, he's got a new outfit. He's got a new screwdriver. He's coming out of Jodie's TARDIS. I think it's pretty obvious she's going to regenerate into him.
It's gonna, because everyone's going to expect him to Jodie to regenerate into the new Doctor. But then David Tennant's going to turn up. It's going to be like, what's going on? What?
Yeah.
And then it's going to go back into the one we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, and it's such a perfect way to get people back into Doctor Who, because obviously so many people have gone away from it, but when they see David Tennant's doing an episode, it will bring people back. I've heard it's going to be a 3-episode special, though, with David, so I've heard we're going to get the Century special and then another 2.
Yeah, depends how they do it.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping for Capaldi to pop up for a bit.
Back,
but I just don't know if it's going to happen. I'm sort of losing faith because we've seen all these set pictures, and I feel like if another Doctor was popping up, we would have heard something by now.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want like Sylvester McCoy and that to like come back and play the Doctor properly again, sort of thing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't know if he will or not.
No. It's going to be interesting either way. I'll be there watching that live for sure. I can't wait for that. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, we're right near the bottom. Which we'll end on a comment here. Let's none of them are really kind of questions. They're kind of just replying to what we've been saying. But anyway, 4K Blu-rays are region free apparently. Region codes only exist due to licensing. So I don't know. I'm guessing 4Ks maybe you're allowed to watch anywhere. I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I'm not sure how region codes and that work fully. I know there's complications with some things. When some things work, some things don't. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I very rarely import. Like I've got the Halloween box set that I showed you, and I've got 2 comedy movies. Weirdly, I've got a film called Booksmart and The Beach Bum, which I imported. But other than that, I haven't really imported anything else. I don't really do that much because I'm always nervous too. Because I know that it will turn up and then it won't play. So.
Yeah, there's so many things like that. Like I said, there's so many films that you can import because they don't have an English release. And it's like, I really want to watch that. But then you can't watch it because it won't play. Or it's in a different language. Yeah. And it doesn't have a setting for it to go back into English.
Yeah.
And this is really frustrating because you spend all that money on that one copy and you can't use it.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It is just so frustrating. I can imagine it. It's I don't know. That's why I sort of just stick to getting the UK releases, which does
Yeah.
limit me on some things, but well,
Yeah.
gotta keep
Yeah,
going,
no,
I guess.
yeah.
But anyway, we'll wrap the stream up there because we've sort of come to the end there. We got through most of the questions actually, which is quite surprising. I never normally do.
No.
But thank you so much for coming on, mate. Honestly, it's been such a pleasure
No,
to finally.
it's been great talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were saying backstage before we started. Like, the only time we've done stuff together, it's been like sort of quick interview type things, very formal. Whereas here,
Yeah,
it's
when
just
I've sort of so-called speaking to you face to face, when I interviewed you for Legend of King Kong, that was like I was asking you questions, and it wasn't just like us having a chat about a specific film. It was like you telling me your thoughts on something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's don't get me wrong. It was great. I'm so happy that I done it and to be a part of that. But it's nice to sit back and have a chat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
been
mean, I'm glad I'm finally on one of these streams anyway.
Honestly, mate, pleasure to have you on, and we'll have to get you back on at some point.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, this year I'm pretty booked up. To everyone that's listening, I think we're going to be doing like 2 Mondays back to back now. So make sure you're here for the next couple of weeks. But next year, when I come back to do series 3 of these streams, because I'm sure it'll happen, we'll have you back on, mate, because it's been an absolute pleasure.
Great, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And make sure everyone to go check out The Legend of King Kong as well, by the way, because, a lot of work's gone into that.
Yeah. If you just search Legend of King Kong, it should just come up with it.
Yeah. Nice. Well, yeah. Make sure you go give it a watch, everyone, because it's very well done. Very well done.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you so much for everyone else who's come by. And as I say, I'll be back for the next 2 Mondays in a row, I believe. So yeah, I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.